the needle on this thing we're tackling in this country called justice.
Professor Swain, I think I hear you say that you're not excoriating the movement just for the actions of this lone gunman, but rather you've looked at what the group purports to stand for itself, and you don't like what you see.
No, I don't like what I see. It's pure Marxism. It talks about state violence, genocide. All of those are buzzwords that are quite destructive. And again, I urge your viewers to go to the Black Lives Matters website and read their own definition of what does Black Lives Matters mean. And in the case of the two recent police shootings, videos don't tell the entire story. And if you look and dig further, in the case of the shooting in Louisiana, the guy was a convicted felon. He had an illegal gun and he resisted arrest. And so we get part of the story. And in the case in Minnesota, where you had the girlfriend that videotaped, where there are other videotapes that she has on her Facebook page that she has live streamed. And in one of them, she and her boyfriend, they're sitting in their car, smoking reefer with the child in the background. And so that video is out there. And so we have to look at the credibility of the witnesses. We need to not rush to judgment. And I find the media, they're putting too much focus on the videos before we have the facts.
Ariva, respond to that.
With all due respect, Professor, you just suggested that the shooting of Alton Sterling is justified because he has a prior criminal record. At the time that the police arrived at the scene after getting a call from a homeless man, they had no information about his record. Simply because you have a criminal record doesn't mean your life is any less valuable in this system. Police officers aren't empowered to shoot people because they have a criminal record. They didn't have that information when they
had information that he had a gun. They knew he had a gun, and it turned out to be an illegal gun.
Can I finish?
It turned out to be illegal.
I allowed you to finish.
Please, Ariva. Professor, let her finish.
The whole issue, yes, the issue is, were those officers in imminent danger? Did they have the need? Was there an opportunity to de-escalate that situation? And what we see time and time again is when you have officer encounters with African American men, there's never an effort. And I don't want to overgeneralize, but generally you don't see efforts to de-escalate the situations. You see the situations go from 0 to 100, and a level of force that's used that's not used when there are not African American men involved. So for you to suggest that Alton Sterling's criminal record somehow justified those cops shooting him when he was unarmed, pinned to the ground, is just a ridiculous statement. And it really highlights the issue of race and how African American men are treated differently by law enforcement in this country.
Professor Swain, do you believe that the climate of racial tension in the United States today mirrors where we were in the 1960s?
I think that conditions in America have worsened, and when we talk about criminal justice, we have to deal with the fact that blacks are 13% of the population, yet they do commit a disproportionate amount of crime, like 37% of the violent crimes. They're more than 8 times more likely to commit homicides. And so when a police officer approaches a black person, I'm sure if it's in the inner city, they have that in the back of their minds. And I don't think people should be shot